What's up? It's Rachel. Nice to see you guys again. I know it's been like the longest, but like regardless, I'm here for you now, right? That's what matters. Because it's been a hot minute, I kind of wanted to start off and just sort of update you on what's been going on in my life. This last month, I actually had my birthday. I turned 19 years old, which was pretty fun. I kind of spent the whole day hanging out with my friends, and it was really nice to see everybody. Nobody died. It was a good time, that kind of thing. In more exciting news for me and for absolutely nobody else, I ended up in a relationship. And it's been pretty nice. I'm hoping that I'll be able to talk about it, you know, a little bit more eventually, but as for right now, I'm just happy. You know, things are going well. But I've just been pretty sidetracked with like a whole bunch of things, so I really haven't been focusing too much on YouTube, but I have wanted to make a video, so today's video is going to be a little bit more personal so that I can just kind of talk. The reason that I'm making this video today is because I get a lot of questions about this kind of stuff. I think that mental health is really important. I think that if you talk about it, then there's less of a stigma about it, especially if you are diagnosed with something that, you know, is a name that gets thrown around quite a bit. Nobody really knows what exactly is going on. People might think that you're crazy or, you know, whatever other toxic labels they want to give you because they don't really understand it. And I think that if you talk about it and you take the time to debunk, you know, the myths behind mental illness, then people aren't gonna use those kind of labels and they're gonna understand you a little bit more. You could say, like, I'm a little bit of, like, a giver. Not saying that, like, I'm Gandhi or whatever, but, like, I like to do my part for the world and I'm here giving you my gift. So, you're gonna take it. I did this thing on Instagram where I put up, like, a little question poll thing and asked if anybody had any questions about bipolar disorder. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder this year. I am diagnosed with type 2 bipolar and I'm also diagnosed with anxiety. I also wanted to preface this kind of by saying that my experiences with bipolar is not everybody's experience with bipolar. There are different subcategories within bipolar disorder, and like I said, I also have anxiety, so that layered on top of it gives me a sort of concoction of experiences, which is very fun for me. So yeah, when I'm answering these questions, I'm going to be answering them solely based off of my experience and based off of what I kind of know about bipolar. If you have any additional questions on anything that I haven't answered, feel free to do your own research. You can comment whatever you want. You can reach me on social media. I have all of my contact information below for you, or you can just comment down below. That's going to be the easiest way to get to me, and I'll try and get back to you. So go grab yourself a bag of chips, you know, get yourself a cup of tea, do whatever you want to do, like relax and just listen, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna pull these up real quick. I actually meant to film this video a while ago, but I never did that. I'm just a huge procrastinator, so let's find these answers. So the first person whose comment we're gonna be reading, her name is Haley. She's a good friend of mine. Hi, Haley. Hope you're doing good. The question sticker that I put up asked, what do you associate with bipolar disorder / what questions do you have about bipolar disorder? So she said she associates mood swings with bipolar disorder the most, and if that is the case, and it's a big factor, do you realize when you're having them? Okay, so for me, I can realize when it's about to come on. It sort of like comes in stages, kind of. It's kind of like a wave, you know? So like you get the beginning of it and you can kind of feel it start to like acclimate, and then it just gets huge and then it goes down. And I know I have a later question that asked me about this. Some of the episodes that you have are gonna be more of like that super slow incline, and some of them are gonna be like a really, really quick progression, you know, up to like the top of like your manic episode or your depressive episode or whatever it is that's going on, and then it can go down really slowly. You can start to feel normal again, or it can just suddenly just be like, oh, I'm super, you know, I'm manic, I'm doing all this stuff. You know, just back to like nothing, and then back to being tired and everything. When you have bipolar disorder, it's characterized by having different episodes of mania and depression. Depression is obviously the lower end of emotions. Feelings of uselessness and worthlessness and lack of motivation and just the typical stuff that you would experience even if you just had regular depression, but in a prolonged episode and with like a huge amount of intensity stretched into one time period. Now it can be like a few days, it could be a few weeks, it could be a week, it could be a month, like there's really no telling. For me personally, I think The worst episode that I ever had only lasted me about a week. I have a lot of more manic episodes than I do depressive episodes, so for me to experience like a really intense depressive episode is... It's not really uncommon, but it's not going to be like as prolonged. A manic episode for me could last a week. It could last 2 weeks. It all depends. If I have a longer episode of mania or depression, it doesn't tend to be as intense. Sometimes I'll have like a mini spurt of mania and it'll only last me a few days and it'll be like I'm just constantly going. You have depressive episodes and you have manic episodes. Manic episodes aren't necessarily being like super happy, but it's feeling super motivated, wanting to do a million things all at once, you know, having like an increased sense of self-esteem. You don't always experience all of these different symptoms all at the same time. I can still personally feel not great about myself, but have the motivation to do a million different projects all at once. If you know me, then you know that I'm all about that. I had a period last year where I wrote and I directed my own show when I was in high school. When it came time for me to do the show, like I did the whole design for the set, I did the lighting design, I did everything, and not necessarily because I had to, but because like I was on it. I wasn't really sleeping that well. I just wanted to stay up and I wanted to do all these things because I felt like I had to. It is good in terms of like, I will get a whole bunch of stuff done, but then the gratification I get from doing those things like just pushes me even farther into the episode, so it's like, oh my god, why can't I just breathe? A lot of people don't really tend to notice unless they're very close to you, like people in my family. My little brother, I think, has noticed before. It's not like I'm acting like an entirely different person. Maybe when I'm depressed, you know, when I withdraw from people, obviously they're gonna notice that. You're still like a functioning member of society. You're still living your normal life. It's just that you have all of this stuff going on behind the scenes. And with my job where I work in a restaurant, if I'm having a manic episode, sometimes people won't even notice because you're doing a million things at once anyways. So I might even be performing better at work. I've even found that when I am having a manic episode at work, I will be making better money. Honestly, because I'm doing a whole bunch of different things and it's just like the way that my mind is. I don't have to think about it. I just want to do a million things all at once and I want to do them the best that I possibly can. So it's kind of like you zone into this and then your mind is just like, okay, this is what we're doing now. I know I got really sidetracked, but that was just stuff that I felt like I needed to explain beforehand. So let's go on to the next question. An old buddy named Genesis. Genesis asked, is bipolar disorder more like an instant switch of emotions or slow but intense progression? Like I said, it's not specific every time. It's different, you know, but I feel like I already kind of answered that. Sorry. But yeah, that's just how it be. Another person responded to what they associate with bipolar disorder. They associate it with having episodes of mania, then switching to depression. That's not necessarily true. Like I said, everybody's experience is different. Some people can go from one to the other, back and forth, but you're not always either manic or depressed. You can be in the middle and have like a period of time in between. You might have a manic episode and then go back to feeling like you normally do, and then go back to another manic episode a week from then, and then not experience a depressive episode for like a few months, or you know, it could just be another few weeks and then you'll have a depressive episode. Derek responded with, he associates bipolar disorder with anger and general discontent of a situation when people have bipolar mood swings. When I'm manic, I can be really irritated with people if they're not on the same like wavelength as me. When I want to do all of these projects, I'll go from wanting to make music to wanting to make YouTube videos to wanting to write to wanting to do, you know, a whole bunch of different things. I tend to express myself creatively. I'll want to do a project and I'll want to involve people in it. If a person isn't on the same wavelength as me and isn't going to literally drop everything and dedicate everything to what they're doing the way that I will, then I'm going to be irritated as fuck. I just expect that from people. I don't know what it is. Your desire to do things is so intense that you want it done like now, and you want it done as fast as possible, and you want everybody to be putting as much effort into it as you are, if that makes any sense. My nose is real fucking itchy right now. Okay, this answer comes from someone who actually ended up DMing me, and after I put this question sticker up, this person also has bipolar disorder, so thank you for responding to this. I don't want to give your name out just in case you aren't, you know, comfortable with it, but I do appreciate you a lot. Thank you for leaving something here. She said that there is a big misconception that people with bipolar are fine 1 minute and then they switch, when really it comes in months, or for me personally, it can be a 3 to 4 day mood change. I'm telling you, the way the media portrays bipolar disorder is similar to the way that the experience is for someone who actually has multiple personality disorder, where you can switch back and forth, where with bipolar, it's a cyclic thing. It's not a constant, you know, back and forth whatever. It's a few days or months or weeks or however long it takes. Here's a question that I got. This person just asked, are there different severities? Definitely. Definitely. I'm sure anybody with any kind of mental illness can say that they experience different, you know, levels of whatever that mental illness is. It comes and goes as it wants. I could be doing perfectly fine in my life and then I'll just have like a crazy depressive episode that is just so low that I don't want to do anything. You can be doing perfectly fine one day and then have this happen, or you could be going through some really rough shit and then just have like a manic episode just kind of thrown at you. There are different severities. I can have like a mini manic episode for like a few days straight and then I won't, you know, go into the like, I need to do a million things right now mode, or I don't need to sleep right now. I can feel certain things that aren't going to be as intense and crazy, you know, but it would still be a manic episode because you can tell. You can really tell when it's happening. So this person responded to what they associate with bipolar disorder as the ups and the downs, the high being happiness and the low being crashes. Just for the sake of talking about it, you can crash. Like if you have a manic episode, one of the symptoms is not really sleeping, not having a desire to sleep, not needing to sleep. You're not thinking about it. So after you don't sleep for a few days straight, obviously once you start to come back down to your normal state, you're gonna crash. You're gonna sleep. You're gonna, like, be exhausted. And that is horrible. It's hard to explain to people who don't have bipolar or who don't like know about it and aren't educated about it, especially if you have a job. If you have a manic episode and then you crash and then you have to go into work the next day, like what can you really do about it? Like there really isn't anything that you can do. I think that's pretty much all I really wanted to talk about today. Like I said, I just wanted to make a sort of like brief little video so that I could catch up with you guys because I haven't really done much in terms of recording or YouTube recently, and I do take this YouTube thing pretty seriously, and it is something that I actually do want to do. I have a few ideas for videos coming up, so I would appreciate it if you guys took the time out of your day to subscribe. Thank you guys for 50 subscribers. It means the entire world to me. I appreciate your support. You can follow my social media down below if you'd like to stay updated on what I'm doing and stalk me. You know, thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I should have more coming soon. I hope y'all had a good one. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them down below, and I will see you guys next year when I have my next upload. Have a good one. Thank you guys for 50 subscribers. I messed that up.